Hi, Dr. Imhold here. So I wanted to take a moment to talk about a lot of the things I've been working on over the last couple of years and why. First, I've built a tool that I think rivals anything in the social media space to help you get your message seen and save you time in your social media efforts. Why did I do that? I mean, who is this guy and why did he do that? So, if you go back far enough, I'm actually a U.S. Army veteran, so we aren't a veteran-owned business. Put myself through college, got my PhD in physics, worked at MIT with Nobel laureates, you name it. The campus has it. And the cool thing about that is you get to learn a lot about kind of what goes on in those rooms, but you can also find ways in those rooms with some of those brilliant people to say, look, we've got these tools, but how do you apply that to the real world? And that's one of the things we've done here is we've taken sort of the latest and greatest in physics data analytic techniques and thrown it at the social media problem. And I think we've come up with a tool that really helps. So why did I do that? Right. So about 5, 6, 7 years ago, I started realizing that some people can get their message seen on social media and some people can't. You got the big guys, you got the microscopic guys, and what's the difference? Well, the big guys have tools that the little guys don't tend to. They also have access to people that the little guys don't have. So what I wanted to do was build a tool that kind of leveled that playing field. And I think we've done that. And we've done it at a price that can actually be affordable. So this is it. It's called One for All Social. By the way, the first 60 days are free with no credit card requirement. You can just log in, try it out, use it to your heart's content for 2 months without paying us anything. At the end of 2 months, it's $24.99 a month. If you buy it by the month, if you buy it annually, it actually gets cheaper. Yeah, and you can cancel anytime. You don't have to, there's no like, oh, penalty for early. No, we don't do any of that. But what is this tool and who cares, right? So one of the things about social that is frustrating to some people is what platform do I want to be on? And where do I want to post stuff? Well, that all depends because there's different demographics for different platforms, and you can research that if you'd like. It's I've got it on my channel. It's all on other channels out there too. So that's a completely different topic. But once you settle on which platforms you want to post on, sometimes you might want to post two, three, four, five of them, but you're like, oh, I don't have time for all that. I just want to post to this one place, and maybe people will find me. I promise. Maybe they will, maybe they won't. But that we've eliminated that problem for you. So instead of having to decide, you can use a system like ours, which, by the way, everything I'm showing you here works on mobile as well as desktop. So you can use your phone, you can use your tablet, you can use anything you want, and you get the same functionality, which nobody else in the industry can say that. Everybody else has these kind of wounded mobile apps that don't do much. Ours does everything. Um, Now, let's say you want to post something and you're like, oh, I don't have time to go to Facebook and Twitter and Instagram and everywhere else. Well, great. Just come in here, attach all your accounts, and send it to all of them. All right. So let's say I want to send it to these five simultaneously. I want to send something to those five, but here's we're going to send it to Facebook and Instagram and LinkedIn and Threads and X, Twitter. I sometimes mess that one up still to this day, but it is what it is. So now, a lot of times there's a few things that you'll find that make a good social media post, and that's important too, because content is absolutely king, right? You've got to have content that somebody wants to look at. You can't just post, "Hey, how's your day?" Right? That's not going to attract new viewers. It's not going to attract new followers. And if you're trying to get a message out or sell a product, it's certainly not going to bring eyeballs to your screen to do that. The other thing about social media you have to remember is that it is social by nature. You can't just throw spam out, hopefully, and hope somebody sees your post. So you've got to kind of be um, deferential in that. So you want to be part social, part business, part, opinion, whatever you want to do. But you can't be just total sales mode all the time. So let's throw something together for a post. I drink wine. I don't drink. I drink a couple times a month. I go out with friends and have a bottle of wine or something, more of a social thing. But now people have their opinions on wine, people have their opinions on beer, and all that's great. I have my own preferences. You probably have yours. Maybe you don't drink. Maybe it's coffee for you. It doesn't matter what it is. Is if you've got an interest, there's an audience for it on social media. That's how big these platforms are. I mean, you got billions of people that use these things every day, depending on which platform it is. You might have 200 million people logged in right now globally. And it really is a global thing. So it's not just ooh, my people in Dallas are going to see it. No, people are going to see it from all over the world. I got more followers in Europe than I do in the United States on one platform. But let's talk about wine for a minute. Not any wine in particular. I'm going to do something a little bit different and a little bit social here, just to kind of show off the system. I do like a good glass of wine, but for me, what wine night is more than, if I could spell today, that would be a good thing. More than anything else, is a chance to get together with friends, family, and relax without worrying about the day to day stuff. It is a social event as much as anything. And yeah, I get together and socialize with people without wine, but I do like a good glass of wine along with it. And you can put coffee in there if you want. You could do anything. Now, there's a couple of things that'll get a post seen more than any other, and one of those is an image. So you want a good quality image to put in there. But let's say you don't have one available and you don't have a picture of a bottle of wine, or if you're just talking about wine generically, like I am, you don't want to broadcast or advertise anybody's particular type of wine. So we built a tool into this. This is AWS Bedrock that lets you generate. It's an AI image generation tool, just like many, many others. But this one's a little bit different in some ways, in that it lets you go through and pick your type of image. You can make a Picasso style image, a Christmassy image, studio, portrait, hyperreal, cartoon, pencil drawing. It's kind of interesting. Classicism, cyberpunk, right? So I'm going to do a pencil drawing. I need an image of a bottle of red wine with some wine glasses next to it. Now, I will tell you that AI generated text and AI generated images, that prompt is all that matters. The more specific you are with that prompt, the closer it's going to come to the image you want. And a lot of times you'll see AI images with bizarre things going on. Well, if you refine the prompt and make it more specific, the bizarre things go away, because the computer is going to do exactly what you tell it to. The problem is the computer is going to do exactly what you tell it to, and if you're not specific enough, it kind of makes stuff up as it goes along. So you see people with like three eyeballs or seven fingers or something, and weird things happen. It isn't necessarily especially with imagery, it's not the fastest thing in the world to do. It's a lot faster if you're just generating text, which we actually built ChatGPT in here as well. But the system gives you a couple of options, right? So it made a pencil drawing of some options. So let's pick one. Let's take that one. Share. Image brought to you by AWS Bedrock Image Generator in pencil mode. Yeah, let's just leave it with that. AWS. All right, so we'll go with that. All right, there we go. Now notice here also we put this little counter up here. Every platform will let you have a different amount of text that you send with a post. Well, we've put up here a little calculator to tell you how many posts you have left, how many characters you have left. Now with X, because it is so short, if you go over the limit, it will wrap it around to a thread, so you don't have to do that. It does it automatically for you. And the other thing about this that we've built in, there's two added tools that will absolutely be playing field levelers for most people, is with a lot of platforms, with the exclusion of X, and we'll get to that in a second, hashtags make all the difference in the world. Okay, now not every platform is the same. Every platform is in fact very different. The demographics are different on each one. So we built this feature in, which is also on mobile, to let you edit by platform. So see, I've got this going to 5 platforms. I've got the base post right here. I've got almost no character space left on X, but I've got a lot left on these others. So maybe I want to go in and add something on Facebook. It can be a holiday or just a Friday, but I do enjoy those moments with friends. There you go. Now, one of the ways on, and I'm going to copy that so we can paste it in later. One of the ways on Facebook that you get seen is through the use of hashtags. Well, what hashtags do you use? You can sit down for a half hour and try to figure it out, or you can click our auto hashtag button. And what that does is it runs a predictive analytic tool to say, hey, look, what what hashtags are going to get me seen the most, right? What hashtags are going to get at the widest audience? So it gives you a list of choices here. Well, image is probably the best one. Doesn't really fit my thing, so I'm going to pick some that kind of do. Glass of wine, social event. Those three work for me. I'm going to add them to the post, right? Boom. Now, we've done something else here that I'll show you when we get to Instagram. So remember all this. This is, and oh, by the way, you can post a Facebook standard post or stories. Either way, it doesn't care. You just click the little button there if you want to go to story. I'm going to stick with standard post, but you can do it. It's up to you. You can do it either way. So let's go to next, and that's Instagram. Instagram, very graphic oriented platform, right? Everything on Instagram is all about the graphic and less about the text wrapped around that graphic than is anything else. So maybe you're just posting images and you don't have a bunch of text you want to wrap around. You just want to hashtag it. Well, okay, so that means our auto hashtag tool is not going to help you very much. But if you see this little AI button right here on the image, you click that, it'll analyze the image for you and figure out what hashtags are relevant. So, glass, beverage, bottle, liquor. Well, let's not put liquor. Let's put wine, wine bottle, wine glass. All those are high probability of success for you. So there you go. Boom. And you'll see they're right there in the image or in the post. And no thinking. All you got to do is push that little button. Um, Now, next, let's go to LinkedIn. LinkedIn is also a hashtag oriented organization. So let's go ahead and click on that one. Let's say social event because it's LinkedIn and I kind of feel like that for LinkedIn, right? So I know my audience over there. It's a little bit different. Threads, you can put as many hashtags as you want. Only the first one's going to get picked up by the system. So I'm going to put, we've checked it out enough times. I know what it's going to be. I'm going to put red wine on that one. I'm going to do that one myself. Just for fun. Now, X is a platform. The pound sign doesn't help you anymore because the owners over at X decided that they thought they were ugly. So when you put the hashtags here, our system will automatically take those out because the algorithm over at X actually downgrades you if you put a hashtag in your post. It just wants you to use words. It doesn't want you to use hashtags. So I'm just going to pretty much leave it like it is because all these keywords are already in there, and the hashtag's not going to gain me anything on X. So let's click next. Now it gives the system will give you a chance to review and get a preview. You'll see each preview looks a little different because if you go to each platform, things look a little bit different. And we've edited all the text inside each one, and you'll notice there are now differences. Now, our system is flexible enough that if I wanted to, I could just say post it now and it'll go everywhere. Or let's say it's Monday, like it is right now while I'm recording this video. It's Monday morning. I want to sit down and get all my posts for the week figured out at once. So I can sit down Monday morning, schedule out like 2 hours, sit there, do my posts, and I can schedule everything that I want to have go out between here and next Monday. And the system, if you push this little schedule button, will pull up a little clock and say, hey, look, it's Monday the 3rd right now, about 8:45. When do you want to schedule it? Just pick your date and time. This is an example, so I'm just going to pick the first time slot available, say, okay, click, go. It is scheduling it to all 5 of those, and your posts are now scheduled. Now, let's go look at our scheduler. So we have a nice scheduler for you. So you'll notice that there's some things in here in green. There's some things in here in blue. What those are, let's click our daily view. The green ones are things that have gone out already. Those are posts that have already gone out the door. They're already posted to the platform. Blue ones are ones that go out in the future. If you see a red one, it's because it had an error. And you'll get an error notification here, or you'll also get post notifications. So yep, posted successfully, a whole bunch of successful posts. You'll get your error messages there. A lot of time can be saved by doing that because we just wrote a post for 5 platforms. Boom, done, right out the door. You can actually get a list of your posts right here as well, so you can look at what's been delivered. Gives you a long list of what's been delivered. I was at a hockey game with my son last night, so I've got a bunch of pictures of hockey games because I was posting during the game. If you have undelivered posts, which I actually do have a few, I went back and fixed it, but they'll show up here. You could save things as draft, all kinds of fun stuff. Now, a lot of platforms will have this thing called listening, which will let you go listen to other people's stuff. We have that as well. We call it social feed. We could call it listening. It doesn't matter. I'm trying to listen to things about Disney, so I put hashtag Disney World. I only put that because if I do demonstrations, I'm less likely to find images that are unacceptable. But what you'll see are all the Disney posts that are running around Instagram at the moment. Now, if you want to, you've probably seen on various social platforms, somebody will cut and paste out an image or a post and say, "Oh, I'm going to copy that. I'm going to paste it so that it can be on my feed as well." You don't have to, you just drag and drop it here, right? If you drag it and drop it right there, it'll take that post and send it out to the little post screen that we saw earlier, and you can send it out to your social platforms that way. Analytics. This part is your absolute best friend. Analytics will help you figure out what's working and what's not working on your platforms, on your different accounts. So this is my personal YouTube channel. And what you'll see is from the period of January 29th to February 28th, I had 20,980 views. The period from December 30th to January 28th, I had 12,470. I got bigger. Hey, all right, good stuff, right? I had 37 comments versus 12. I had 600 likes versus 399, and I had 47 dislikes versus 46. Okay, I had one more dislike, but I had a lot more views. So I'm going to call that a win. Um, just because I like calling it a win. It shows you views by day, so you can see where your peaks were. And if you see something that stands out like that one, you can go back and look and say, what on that day really worked, so that maybe I can do more of that, right? And that's actually how you'll see over here. I'm starting to grow. I found out what worked on that day, which for me was YouTube Shorts, and I've been doing more YouTube Shorts. And look, I'm starting to get more views per day over here. User comments. Well, you find the types of find the types of posts people comment on, and sooner or later you're going to get more engagement. Engagement is your best friend. All the algorithms on all the platforms love engagement. Absolutely love it. If you're worried about how to get social media attention and how to get things seen on your timeline, those hashtags really matter. Engagement matters as well. So you want to track your engagement. You want to track your comments. You want to track your likes. You want to track your dislikes, because all of that leads to engagement. The higher your engagement, the more chances you'll be seen. That's why these analytics are so important. If you find the stuff people engage with more, and do more of that kind of stuff, it will lead to more social media success, more growth, more people seeing your stuff, larger accounts, all that wonderful stuff that we're all after. Change in subscribers. So this is, the this shows you how many subscribers you gained or lost per day. You see, I've been pretty steady. My growth has not gone up or down too terribly much. It's getting a little bit better. So I was gaining back in January and February, I was gaining sort of below 100 a day, sort of 60, 70, 50, and 90. And now I'm kind of consistently over 100 because I went back and learned what was working and what isn't. And I applied that rule over here to say YouTube Shorts are my friend, right? So there we go. I'm seeing a lot of growth. And you can break that out for every platform. It'll also help you break out your audience so you can see where you're strong and where you're weak. My top group in YouTube is male between the age of 25 and 34. And I don't have many female followers. That kind of makes sense for me because I'm talking about role-playing games and video games and books and sci-fi stuff, and it's got a larger male audience than it does a female audience. Okay, kind of makes sense. I wish I had more female followers, but the ones I have are obviously into the stuff that I post about, so I'm not going to complain too much. Insights. This will tell you a couple of things. It'll tell you your best data post. Now, a lot of times you'll hear like, "Oh, Monday's the best for YouTube," or "Friday's the best for YouTube." Well, that's the best in a generic sense. What we're doing is as a specific to your account. We're giving you data about your account, not about the generic platform. So my best day to post by far, if you look at the chart here, is Thursdays. So that's the day I really want to be out there. Once daily is my best. On YouTube for a while, it was telling me twice daily because I was doing a lot of YouTube shorts, and I think that kind of drove it. But now I've been doing sort of two a day for a while, and now it's telling me once daily. So I'm going to stop doing multiple posts a day. I'll go back to once because the data tells me that. But again, here's the chart on once daily versus twice daily. See, and the engagement on once daily is about twice that of once daily. So I'm going to stick with once daily just because that engagement rate is so important. And with YouTube, it has to be video, so that makes sense. Now let's go look at Threads. Threads doesn't give us quite as much data, but we can get some. So my views are going down. I haven't been paying as much attention to my Threads account as I should, so I'm going to have to go back and pay more attention to it. I haven't been posting there very often. But here's the, it wants me to post 9 times a day. So I'm kind of, Threads got a little bit much for me there for a while. So I did want to back off on it. But this data is important. If you sit down and you've got something to say 9 times a day, Threads is a lot like X. You want to feed it often. And 9 times a day, it kept me really busy, and I got busy with some kids for a while. So, but that platform is growing. It's getting bigger. Same with X, same with some of the others. They're still very much a moving target. But that moving target doesn't have to be scary if you got data, and our data updates every day. So, you're not going to be saying, "Oh, well, that was 3 weeks ago. What about today?" Go look, boom, there it is. You got today, right? And you get your audience breakdown over here, all kinds of fun stuff. So, um, we support an image gallery, so you've got all the images or videos that you saved. You'll see all of my rambling in here. By the way, these are AI driven images. These are stuff AWS Bedrock did as well. This is Thomas the Train drawings that were done by Bedrock. That is also an AI image. You'll see a bunch of me, a bunch of book covers. This is my normal content just because I'm into books. Albums, you can bust it out into albums if you'd like, so your images are easier to find. Um, and you can mark your favorite images. Now, messages. The system will draw back your messages, your direct messages from different platforms, so you can find them right there under messages, and you can even run and monitor your ad campaigns right here from the same integrated dashboard. So that's pretty much our system. Saves a ton of time, gives you a lot of information, and these are the kinds of tools the big guys have been using for a long time. But they were so expensive, they weren't really affordable for everybody else. So there is now one to help level that playing field. One for all social, o4a.com. If you have questions, I'm on social all the time because it's kind of what I built my company to do. So feel free to drop me a line and ask, but that is the platform. We are continuously updating and upgrading and making things better for you. We will have in the coming year, we will have things that will allow you to edit video in platform, edit images in platform, beyond just a normal crop tool that lets you crop things, which we already have for Instagram purposes. But this actually lets you do some video editing on our platform, so you don't have to do it elsewhere. We're talking about we might be adding some stuff with live streaming. Stay tuned for information on that. But that's a sort of a harder problem. But we might be supporting live streaming in much the same way some of the other platforms out there do. But that's going to be much later this year. But watch for more updates soon. I'm always around if you have questions. Just drop me a line. Thank you for your attention, and I hope you enjoy the system. We built it for everyone to have a level playing field in social media. See you soon.